Hands do the talking, man. My hands gonna make sure that it turns into the Lamont Roach show for sure.
My whole goal was always to go out there and put on a great performance, like every night.
Oh, he's a competitor. He wants to compete. You know what I mean? He wants to win. You know, he wants to, do more than the next guy. But he's also humble in a sense.
In the final face-off between GervontaDavis and Lamont Roach, things got intense as they exchanged bold words before their upcoming fight. Roach confidently said that Davis has never fought anyone like him and promised to win on Saturday night. Davis, staying calm, responded with equal confidence. Emotions are running high as both fighters get ready for a fierce showdown in the ring.
First to come out victorious.
Lamont, hip-hop is really, how's the power look? You looking, it carried with you to 135?
Yeah, you know it.
Okay.
You know it might be better than it was at 30.
So you feel more comfortable with your throw, your punches and everything like that?
For sure. 5 extra pounds I don't gotta lose.
Okay.
How important is it for you to look for a knockout for this fight for Gervonta, not leave it to the judges?
I'm not necessarily stressing a knockout, but as you know, as I've been saying, this entire press run, this entire media run, I'm trying to knock any and everybody out. So the opportunity presents itself, we're gonna take it for sure.
What makes you different than thanks to other opponents?
The IQ, the skill level, just being the overall cerebral assassin in the ring. He ain't never been in there with someone like me up to date. You know what I'm saying?
Does losing the last 2 fights in amateur have any effect on this fight?
Not necessarily, but it is a little get back that I gotta get for sure. For sure.
Going forward, no matter the outcome, like going up to 135, is that something you're looking forward to?
Yeah, that's a goal of mine. But regardless, I mean, after I win, I'm gonna defend that both until I feel as though I can't make 30 no more.
In the ring, he's never faced someone like me, plain and simple. As for my last 2 losses in the amateurs, they don't really affect this fight. But yeah, I've got something to prove this time, no doubt. Moving up to 135, that's definitely one of my goals. But right now, after I get this win, I'm going to keep defending my title at 130 until I feel like I can't make the weight anymore. Leading up to the fight, Roach is full of confidence, saying his hands will make it the Lamont Roach show. He plans to go after Tank Davis's face and body, aiming to break his rhythm completely. His focused mindset shows he's all in to take control and prove he's the better fighter.
Well, for Boxing News, I'm joined by Lamont Roach Jr. here in New York. Lamont, it's good to see you. How are you feeling? It's fight week.
Oh, I'm feeling great, man. I'm feeling good. Fight week, I'm very excited.
An extra 5 pounds to work with for yourself. How's that move up in weight been feeling?
It's been feeling great, man. I'm not struggling or killing myself to make weight. I don't normally struggle or kill myself to make weight neither, but it's just it's a better feeling. Them last 5 pounds is a big difference.
I have to ask you, Lamont, you go into this fight, obviously you're going to be the underdog. Do you thrive on that tag though, being the underdog?
No, just like my fight with Hector, I've been an underdog before. I've been doubted, I've been counted out, and you guys see what happens. So March 1st is going to be a repeat of that.
Whenever GervontaDavis fights, as he was mentioned up on the stage, there's a lot more attention on the fight. Instead of it being the GervontaDavis show, how do you make it the Lamont Roach Jr. show?
Go in there and let my hands do the talking, man. My hands gonna make sure that it turns into the Lamont Roach show for sure.
I know you don't want to give too much away, but how do you break down GervontaDavis? How do you come out on top in this fight?
Punch him in the face, punch him in the body, keep punching him in the face. That's how it's gonna stop. If he not gonna be able to stop this shit coming to him. I'm sorry, excuse my language. He ain't gonna be able to stop this.
One thing that we've seen with Tanky obviously has that 1-punch knockout power. For yourself, how do you look to try and stay switched on for 12 rounds so you don't allow him to find that shot to try and end the fight?
I'm not too worried about staying away.
GervontaDavis gives a calm and thoughtful reply to Roach's bold claims, saying it's skill against skill. Whoever has the better skill will win. This shows Davis's confidence in his training and ability. By focusing on the fight as a battle of skills, Davis moves the attention away from pre-fight hype and toward the real competition, making it clear that true talent will decide the result.
What is he in for this Saturday night?
I rule the weekend. I rule the weekend for sure. He just doing what he have to do, trying to psych himself out for the fight and things like that. But come March the 1st, it's all about skill versus skill, and who had the better skill that night is going to be the victorious person.
Renowned trainer Barry Hunter has announced he will be in GervontaDavis's corner on fight night. saying Tank feels like family to them. Hunter's experience and close connection to Davis's team bring valuable support. His presence is expected to offer smart strategies and emotional backing, which could give Davis an advantage in the fight.
But I had to put that aside and look at his business, and that's what it is. I mean, it's going to be love before and love after.
How did the relationship with you and Gervonta take place? You know, being in his corner now. Will you be in his corner come Saturday night?
I will be in his corner. Here's the deal. We got a long history. Calvin called me years ago. Gervonta was a little boy, maybe 8, 9 years old. Brought him up to the gym, and we've been together ever since. Times when you don't see us, myself, and maybe Patrice Harris with him, we still write his fight plans up and everything. So we've been together for a long time.
Coach, can you just give us some clarification or understanding? Because the obvious question is, you know, is Calvin also going to be in that corner? And if not, why?
Oh, yeah, you see him here now, right?
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? See, I hear things, right?
Sure.
But nevertheless, Calvin will be there, Coach Barry will be there, Coach Boogie will be there, and Kenneth will be there as well.
Boxing analyst Showbiz the Adult gives a strong prediction, saying Lamont Roach will likely be knocked out early and in a big way. This view reflects what some experts believe, that Davis's power and skills could overpower Roach fast. Comments like these add fuel to the pre-fight talk, raising excitement and debate among fans and analysts.
I was looking at Lamont Roach in your workout. Lamont Roach is going to be knocked out extremely violently, very early in the fight, and it's going viral. And I'm looking at his stance and his feet, and I'm saying Gervonta is going to knock Roach out by accident. I think he's going to knock him out just from muscle memory, just from his technique. Tank isn't the guy who just tries to go out and knock you out early. But I think he's going to be violent come Saturday. I think he's going to try to make a statement because Shakur Stevenson just fought with Padley. And so I think he's trying to send a message like, don't ever put this guy in my league. Even if, you know, Shakur was supposed to beat Padley and I supposed to beat Lamont Roach, here's the difference.
Champion boxer Stephen Fulton responds to critics who doubt Lamont Roach's choice to fight DAZN. He explains that many of these critics don't fully understand Roach's background or the details involved in moving between weight classes.
All right, last question. I got to ask you about a fight coming up.
That's because, you know, it is when before business actually get taken care of, I don't like to say it, because then if it don't happen, everybody like, well, what happened with this? Or, you know what I'm saying?
I got you.
So you take those little losses or however things don't go well in the dark.
But I'm going to say I'm proud on both notes. I'm proud of the performance, and I'm proud of that move. That's a big move.
Yeah, that would be.
But last question, I got to ask you about fight. You got Tank, Lamont Roach this Saturday.
Fan of the sport.
You going to be in the building?
Fan of the sport. Yeah, I'm going to be there. I'm just going to be a fan of the sport, though, that day. May the best man win. That's good for both of them and their history as well.
I've been hearing people criticize the fight. Why is that a good fight to watch? Because for me, I think it's going to be competitive.
Only people that criticize the ones that don't know the history between the two or that don't know certain fighters in certain weight classes, I can say. But guys like me and everybody else that came up in my era, as far as like the amateurs and stuff, I want to see the fight. Like I think it's a good fight because I know both of them and they got history. We all know of each other, things like that. So it's a good fight.
During a public training session, Lamont Roach shows he's ready by throwing strong punches as he finishes preparing for his fight against Davis. This demonstration highlights his fitness and skill, sending a clear message to his opponent and the audience that he's fully prepared for the challenge ahead. Lamont Roach makes a bold claim, saying he plans to knock out John Davis and warns Davis not to take the early rounds lightly. Roach also brings up their past as amateurs, saying he's knocked out Davis before. This adds a personal edge to the fight, suggesting Roach wants to get inside Davis's head and make him second-guess the upcoming match.
I think I don't know if you heard, but Lamont Roach went on the Breakfast Club and said when y'all were amateurs, he whooped your ass. And he was the harder puncher back then, so obviously he thinks he's the harder puncher now. And he said when y'all get in the ring, he will be the bigger man. So he is gonna stand and bang with you because he got more power than you, bro. And he said that the fact that people think that you gonna knock him out, well, that's a joke to him. He don't see that happening because you better not start slow or you gonna be in trouble, bro, because you are just the beginning of his Hall of Fame legacy. It starts with you. He ain't have to negotiate with you because when he beats you, you are done because you thinking about retirement, and that starts his Hall of Fame run. What you think about that?
Analysts believe GervontaDavis fights on a higher level than Lamont Roach. This view comes from Davis's track record, skills, and past fights, showing a gap in experience and ability. These insights add to the pre-fight discussions, giving ideas about how the fighters compare and what strategies they might use.
How come you're not fighting a Shakur Stevenson? How come you're not fighting Teofimo? How come you're not fighting Devin Haney? How come you're not fighting these fighters that we talk about all the time? Why are you fighting these people that we rarely know like that, bro? And you trying to sell us wolf tickets. You're trying to hype us up, talking about he's the next one. He's a good fighter. And when you go into, there's levels, bro. Like the whole set, there's levels. Like there's Roach, there's Tank Davis, just another different level, you know? And
experts generally agree that Gervonta is likely to win by knockout against Lamont Roach by the 7th round. This belief is backed by Davis's large fan following and his record of strong wins. The prediction highlights the excitement around an intense fight, with many fans confident Davis will finish it within that time.
Davis is the favourite for this fight, and I think that Davis is going to be able to win via KO in round 7. I think he's going to be able to brutally stop Roach, to be completely honest. And, you know, maybe it's a harsh way of putting it, but he was able to do it versus Martin. Martin let him onto the front foot, and Davis showed that he can just walk you down. I think he's going to be able to do that again. Roach might be able to land early to the body quite nicely at times, and, you know, might be able to outthrow him like Martin was doing in that fight. But Roach, if he's just not throwing on the inside and just continually trying to go for big singular shots to the body, or, you know, catch him with big overhands, then I think it's just not going to work out for him. I think Davis is going to be able to work that out very easily, find the openings very easily, and then, you know, Roach might be trying to slip and use his kind of Philly shell, but I still believe that Davis is going to be able to be better than that and to see a shot, to time a shot very well, to be able to brutally knock him out again and be able to score another huge knockout win for him.
Featherweight champion Gary Russell Jr. shares his thoughts on Gervonta's personality outside the ring, saying Davis is quiet and doesn't get involved in trash talk. This shows a clear difference between Davis's calm, reserved nature and his fierce style when fighting. Knowing this side of him helps us see Davis as both a person and a fighter in a fuller way.
Absolutely. And as far as Tank, I know that there's been a lot of rumblings in social media that you want that fight. Y'all went back and forth. You wanted that fight for a few years now.
We never went back and forth. I'm the only one that's been saying shit. Tank know to keep his mouth closed when it comes to me. He don't say too much. So.
Speaking of him, obviously, what do you think about this fight against Lamont Roach, man? Because there's a lot of people that are kind of iffy on it because, again, another guy moving up in weight. There's a lot of other guys that they prefer to Tank see fight, including yourself, Shakur, a lot of the other bigger names. What do you think about that fight? What was the first thought that came to your mind when that fight got announced?
I think the same thing that everybody else thought. Unfortunately, you know, Lamont Roach, he got in his feelings when I gave my honest opinion. So, like I said before, after you fight Tank, win, lose, or draw, if you really feel some type of way about what I said in my honest opinion, then make me your next opponent right after Tank. I'll fight you at one.
Dant Davis looks back on his career, admitting that it might be nearing its end. He shares his goal to give his best in every fight and highlights how important it is for him to be a good father.
Fight Lamont Roach. What has he done to deserve to be in the ring against you?
He's a world champion himself. He's coming up and weight to dare to be great. So we fought before, you know, so it's history. It's history in that. There's two guys that's trying to be great.
These thoughts reveal a deeper side of Davis, showing his focus on growing as a person and leaving a lasting impact beyond the sport of boxing.
I'm the type of guy that, you know, I really don't like pay attention to that because I'm still in the mix. So I just got to keep my head grounded, you know, stay grounded and just, my whole goal was always to go out there and put on a great performance like every night, you know, so I can't really say right now because I'm still in the mix. Like I said, but hopefully when it's all said and done, I'll be one of them top great fighters.
How soon is it going to be before you're done? Because on several occasions, it's almost like you're alluding to, you only have but so many fights left. You're looking to walk away from the game. How close are you to that, being undefeated and unblemished with some big fights out there for you to get?
It's close for sure. It just, I don't know. It's a little draining. I just want to step back for a little bit and just focus on me personally. You know, I feel like I've been doing this for some time now, and I just want to give myself a break.
GervontaDavis shares that he plans to retire as a step toward improving himself as a person. This decision comes from his desire to grow and explore life beyond boxing. He recognizes how demanding the sport is both physically and emotionally. Davis feels prepared to move on and face new opportunities and responsibilities outside the ring.
So much love. Have you have you had any times like, maybe I was tripping a bit?
Yeah, I do be having those thoughts.
Yeah.
But it's also too, I want to get myself together.
Which is much more important.
Yeah, being more there for my kids, going to school, just building myself up as a person.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? As a great human being. That's what I'm focusing on.
You mentioned at the next stage of your life you wanted to seek therapy, become a better person. What does that actually mean? Like, what do you want to get out of this therapy?
Just healing myself.
Coach Mayan Flowers highlights John Davis's unstoppable drive, pointing out his strong competitive spirit and hunger to improve. Davis treats every training session as a chance to beat his last effort, always pushing himself to get better. This commitment to growth is a key part of why he succeeds and shows the hard work behind his accomplishments in boxing.
Tank's work ethics in the gym.
Oh, he's a competitor. He wants to compete, you know what I mean? He wants to win, he wants to, do more than the next guy, but he's also humble in a sense because there's a lot of things that he wasn't good at that he had to learn and watch and sit back and then, okay, now I got it. Push myself, but was humble enough to learn and listen to a lot of things that he was able to do. He has never done before. And that's kind of hard to do to people, man, to really say like, listen, man, if you do this, I know it don't really directly correlate to boxing, but I promise you it's gonna help you in the ring. That's hard to introduce to people, you know what I mean? And then them trust you this late. It's not like I've trained Tank since he was 6 or 7 years old or since he's been 12, like I've coached Scooter. So that, I was fortunate that there was some trust there this late.
Esteemed trainer BOS Ease gives advice to anyone fighting John Davis, warning against trading punches head-on. He points out that Davis's skill in counterpunching and his power make direct exchanges very risky. This advice suggests that opponents should focus more on smart movement and defense to avoid getting caught by Davis's strong attacks.
It's just be a good fight, man. I would have to go with Tank, though.
Lamont would be moving up. What would he have to do to make that fight?
Oh, he moving up?
Yeah, it would be, he's the champion at 30.
Oh, okay, yeah. I have to go with Tank.
What does he need to do to make this competitive?
Don't trade with him. You got to box, move, time up. But it's difficult when you fight Tank, man. It's difficult when you fight him because Tank set you up with
all types of shots, man. And also, like I tell people, Tank can box when he want to box.
That's all for today's video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.